Hi and welcome back to 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏𝗧. Today guys, we're going to be jumping back down into the charts for Bitcoin, seeing what's been going on most recently and what I would expect to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you'll be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏𝗧. Now, if you have not yet joined us in Discord, the link's in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. So why not go ahead and check it out today? Okay, guys, let's waste no more time and let's get right on into this. Bitcoin paired up with USDT. We're on the hourly chart, and Binance is the data source here. Now, obviously, yesterday we saw this come back down. We actually came down a little bit lower than my 28,255. If I just hover on this, we actually have 28,000 and $19. Okay, so ever so slightly lower, but it has actually completed the move here, a slight just over extension there. But basically we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We've got 5 waves. That basically now completes the zigzag. So I'll go ahead and remove these 5 wave counts and I'll show you what that looks like. So we have basically an A wave here, a B wave up, and a C wave coming down. So that completes the zigzag pattern there, which means the next directional move is of course up, right? So we have one clear wave coming up. We've got this wave coming down here. And what we're going to look for now is that next push upwards. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking for. But we want to also just zoom out here. This actually marks our B wave bottom. Okay, and because we've now got a slight adjustment here, as in we came down lower than 28,255, we also just need to adjust our top range as well. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this, move it over to our $28,019, and then we can see here it's now 33,024. Okay, ever so slightly adjusting just according to these refinements that we're making. Okay, so I can go ahead and move this down. And what I'll do is I'll just change that into 24 coordinates, and we'll just go ahead and do that. There we go. Okay, so that's our target there. Okay, changing ever so slightly. That's the top of our 4th wave approximately. Okay, so again, this is a 1-to-1 ratio, but they don't always have to play out like that. My top of our wave 1 here is coming in at 31,460. That would be the minimum. So you create a double top and then you pull back down. So we could be anywhere between 31,460 and 33,000 before we start to see a bit of a reversal. Now, of course, you know, this is on a larger scale. I would expect that we've probably got here some kind of structure that's going to look like this. We'll have this kind of move upwards. Okay, some kind of ABC structure like this. Could be a zigzag, we don't know yet. And then we'll end up with some kind of correction, and then we'll probably end up with, again, another surge coming up like that. Okay, so that's kind of the journey that we're looking at. We're not looking at something that's going to be quick and easy and, you know, over. It's going to be quite slow, I would have thought, and we'll end up with some kind of pattern like this moving to the upside. Okay, but once we complete this, once we're somewhere between 31,460 and 33,000, essentially what we're going to then do is, if I actually pull this up into our 4-hourly chart, just bring this back down, you can see down here that we have our 5th wave low targets. Now, again, just slight refinements. Because we dropped down that extra little bit, we can now obviously use our new high as our limit. And here we can see we've made a couple of more just tweaks, I guess is probably the best way of looking at this. Just to this level here, which is the most common 5th wave low, and that would put us in at about 23,413 and 25,393. So I'll put it about there. So you can see how these two levels are very, very close. Let me just change that to 93, and I'll change this one to 13 as well. So we get these exactly to the dollar, not to the cent, but to the dollar, and then I can remove that. Now, $22,967 is actually a part of a larger play. If I come up into the 4-hourly here, it's part of a bigger structure, right? It comes all the way from the top here. It's a big A, B, and C. So again, that's kind of resonating incredibly well. We've got all of these sub-wave counting going on, right? We've got this A, B, C structure. We then got our 5-wave finish, so it becomes a 3-3-5 structure in total. And if I come back down into our 4-hourly chart here, you know, we've got all of these areas, right? 22,967, all the way up to a theoretical high, if we're really good about it, you know, 25,393. Essentially, you know, we can be anywhere in this sweet spot, but this seems to be the area that's resonating incredibly well across the different time frames and across the different wave counts. Okay, so as we start thinking about the different degrees of movements here, we can see how the traders are being influenced on the different timelines, and they're all kind of coming in at approximately the same kind of level. We are talking of coming down from where we are, but we are not talking about going down lower than really $20,000. I don't think that's very likely. It's possible, of course, I just don't think it's likely. But for the most part, we are looking pretty good and pretty comfortable right inside this sweet spot here. And, you know, what we'll do is I'll jump on up into our weekly report that we have on Bitstamp here, just to kind of talk through a couple of additional things. So, you know, what we'll do is we'll just kind of go back through, you know, the EMA stuff that was going on. So basically closing below the 20 EMA, going down to the 55. Essentially what this is showing us is that we close below the 55 EMA. Okay, so once you've closed below the 20 EMA, you're going to have to go ahead and close below the 55 EMA. That's kind of what the history of Bitcoin is telling us here. Okay, we've come down, but we haven't closed below it just yet. So that's your exponential moving averages, but also the simple moving averages also give us a really good indication of what we should be expecting. And historically speaking, you know, this 200 simple moving average, we've actually rested on it and tested it as a really good support line, and then moving on up. Bear market lows have basically been tested on this range, with the exception of the pandemic crash, where we actually just briefly closed above it and then moved straight on up the week after. And for the most part, this area here has been an area that we've been basically just really working to. Now, what's really important about this, currently the 200 simple moving average is $22,000 on this weekly chart. So again, that's really resonating incredibly well with our wave counts really going down to those low levels of $22,000, right? So knowing this, knowing that our history has also resonated incredibly well with 200 simple moving averages, but also worked incredibly well with that 55 EMA, and our wave counts are also indicating very same levels. You know, there's a few fluctuations of a couple of $1,000s either side of it, but for the most part, we're right in that sweet spot. What we're not doing is we're not saying that we're going to go down lower than the previous all-time high. That's never happened in Bitcoin's history. It can, of course, happen, but we're not seeing that, not from the wave counts, not from the exponential moving averages, and not from the simple moving averages either. So we got to kind of, you know, rely on the tools that we have, the data that we have. Everything is of course possible with such a small set of data, so we should be, you know, open to the idea that things change. But for the most part, all of the wave counts, the sentiment of the buyers, the psychology of the buyers and sellers within the market, the average price moving either exponentially or simply across periods of time, are also indicating very similar things. Basically, we're looking for reversal, and that reversal is approximately somewhere in that low 20s, not going lower than $20,000. So that's kind of where I sit. You know, I follow the data, I follow the money, and this is what's leading me to. I think we're very, very close to reversal. We're very, very close to finding the bottom, and Bitcoin should be on the way up very, very soon, in my opinion. But that's all it is. I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot give you financial advice. All I can do is give you my thoughts and opinions on the data as I see it here in the charts. Guys, I'm going to leave the video there. If you found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe? Tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you'll be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.